So Kimmy spotted this structure last time we were at Storrs Lake, and it's just off the path, and it reminds me of a structure that Jackie and I found a few years ago on the other side of the path, but it was a much smaller structure that was about hip height, but because it had the curved bark and everything, and it was smooth and like a hut, it reminded me of this one. And so I wanted to show you this one. I don't know why a human would ever make this. We've seen Bigfoot in here about 30 feet over that way, 3 of us. There were 2 of them, a young one and a big one next to it, but we couldn't see the face of the big one. But this structure is just about 30 feet from where we saw the Bigfoot. And I found prints in here and stuff before. And we've heard wood knocks in here. Here's this side of the structure. But we had to come back in here and check it out because it's really a fantastic structure. You can see a picture of the hut structure that Jackie and I found. I just took pictures of it before in our group, SWWOOMI. But I thought this was a pretty great find for Kimmy, because I can't see any reason why a human could or would do all of this. It's a lot of work. It's breaking boards, cracking them in half, putting them up there, and it's not something you can sit in, you can see. So what would be the purpose of it other than as maybe a marker for their territory, or I don't know why they do stuff like this. The other hut that I saw was up against a tree, and like this one, but it looked more like it was a little shelter for a little one. I've never seen anything like that one. I've never seen anything like this before. I've seen teepee structures. This is totally different. Those are broken old wood and trees.
Some of it looks like lumber, you know?
Yeah.
Without it being sanded down.
Yeah. I mean, not to say that the wood's wasn't rotten anyway, but it's bizarre. And then there's stuff stuffed in there. Right in there. And there's a hole in there, like there's a critter in there. You know, chipmunk or something. But, yeah, look at that. And nothing has been done by a saw, but why would you do it anyway? It's not something anybody could live in or be in. Okay, I think, and there's a couple of hoops over this way, right here. If you can see that. Huh.
You also notice, look at these, like from last year maybe, these weeds, they're all bent.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah, they are. All the weeds are bent.
All around here, they're all bent like this.
Yeah, they're all bent the same way, aren't they?
Yep.
They all are. Like this. We saw like trees bent like this in the Bigfoot woods, but it's the first time I've seen weeds bent like that. There? Yeah. Oh yeah. And back there? There's one.
All through here.
There's one back in those.
I know,
right
I
there.
haven't stepped these down yet.
No, we didn't do this. Here's one right here. Yeah, that's
look
weird.
At all these leftover shards or whatever you call.
Yeah.
And these are just what they're using to stuff these 2 trees.
Yeah. I've heard of tree stuffings, though.
Do you think that's what this is?
Well, it isn't like the one I found. It was stuffed with leaves and, you know, ground debris. Okay. A tree was a live tree, and I never understood what it was till I saw somebody's video of a tree stuffing. And I said, I've never heard of that. So let's try and get through there and see if we can get to the spot where we saw the Bigfoot.
Okay.
And
This way looks like a drop, so I would, if you make it through that way, it'd
Okay.
be better. Be careful.
And maybe I can find the spot from this direction where we saw the two Bigfoot. Because in the daytime, at first I thought the one that was facing us, watching us, was an adult or a young, very young one, 5 foot. But then I realized after I came back out here and got in there that it was in a gully or a ravine, and he ended up being, I could tell from the tree he was under, he ended up being like 7 foot tall. And so the big one, that means the big one had to be 9 foot tall. But we couldn't see the big one's face. All we could see is the fur hiding behind the tree. But I think I've gotten pictures out here before of one peeking around a tree at me when I was taking pictures of a structure. Yeah. Storrs Lake has a lake, a pond, and Bowers Lake. And then around on Bowers Lake Road is an apple orchard that's closed, but... Huh? Oh yeah, is there a Y branch?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of neat too. I don't know if this is the gully he was in or not. I can't tell unless it must have been because we were on the path out there. And Sanjay was studying structure when he noticed movement in here, but these woods were super deep and just filled with brush and bushes and shrubs and trees. And then they came in and cleaned this whole place out and sprayed for the weeds a couple years ago and got rid of a bunch of trees in here. And I thought, well, that's the end of the Bigfoot. But they came back. I could tell by the structures that were popping up. I think he was standing. Maybe he was standing in here. I can't tell
in
from
this
here.
Gully here?
Yeah, maybe.
Or was it further back?
Oh, it was just directly past that gate, where you enter the gate, and then just a little bit past that. But I can't see where the gate is right now.
I can only see where the cars are.
See, and it had a tree that went over his head that was broken half. So I knew right where he was standing because I looked for the tree later.
Sure.
And, well, here's a big hoop. So I looked for the tree later, and it turned out he was like a 7-footer, but he didn't have any hair on his face at all. I don't know if the big one did or not because we never saw his face or her face. But we were passing the we ran and got the binoculars, and we were passing them around. Yeah, I think this has got to be it.
I mean, it is sunk in, not too far.
Yeah.
And it's close to the structure that we're...
But it's not as deep as...
Unless there's another one...
It might be farther up.
I think there's a deeper one over here.
Is there? Maybe it was back here. But see, the tree is gone now, that he was standing under. But when we were passing the binoculars between the three of us, which we had to share, as we passed them to the next person, they ducked out. And we couldn't chase them or anything because it was just too deep in here, too foresty, too many bushes, too many prickers. And this is 1/10 of what it used to be because they cleaned this out. I mean, they took out all kinds of trees and shrubs and bushes and undergrowth. But if you think they're not right out here in the middle, you'd be wrong, even in the daytime. I mean, they're probably watching us right now. But we've been in here at night and heard weird bird calls and definitely woodnecks. And then one time when Sanjay and I were here, we didn't even have a flashlight on, and it was late at night, and when we got back to my car was kind of glowing, and there was no reason for it to be glowing other than something unusual. And Diane and I actually saw pinpoint lights along the trail. But when we go look at it, there was nothing there. I'd have to get back to the path and then look and see. Huh?
Oh, that one?
Yeah, and then...
I was just heading towards this path because I wanted
Yeah,
to
no, that's fine.
find through here.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're in here. We might as well keep going.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could figure out where that one was standing, how close to that structure. Oh, you got to tie your shoe? See, there's... I'm not saying that is a structure, but that's interesting right there, that broken tree. And then the hut we found was just over that way, close to Bowers Lake, by a tree in the winter.
We haven't went and looked at that yet this year.
What? Bowers Lake? Oh, the structure's not there anymore. It was gone by the next summer. I wish I'd taken video of that. I was so stupid. I just took pictures.
That tree branch is hooped. This is hooped.
Yeah. And it's under this other tree. Yeah. There's one over there. And you know, this is only probably, what, 5 miles from Lima Marsh, if you go straight through there. And for sure there's Bigfoot and Dogman in Lima Marsh. Well, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too. I thought that fall is a little interesting.
You know, I don't know, but how does a tree fall between a sapling and a big tree?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and just get placed perfectly. But it could have fallen that way, I don't know. Oh, and then there's an X in it.
Hey.
Huh. What? What is it?
Mushroom, it's impaled by a stick.
Oh, that's weird. Ooh.
It was right down here.
Ooh.
And it was impaled.
Maybe they were thinking about eating it. So that X in there is kind of interesting too. But I don't know. Because see, this tree fell and then got stuffed by a bunch of other trees in between the sapling on the right and the big tree. Huh? And then there's an exit. Yeah, and there's a Y branch right there. See, and you wonder, are they related to the ones out at Lima Marsh? You know, do they know them? I'm sure they do. Are they part of their clan? Do they live between here and there too? You know, I don't know. I'm gonna head back to the path and...
It's right there, straight ahead. Should have picture this. I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. It's kind of like sitting around the campfire with a mushroom. Yeah,
mushrooms?
roasting mushrooms, don't you think? That's funny.
Right in here.
Maybe they were poking at it. And Travis saw the Dogman in here, Travis and his friends. I still have to find that recording and post it again. It should be up here, just past this big tree. You have to wonder if they don't use those big trees for climbing up into other big trees and sitting up there. I mean, that's how I got a picture of a Bigfoot in a tree. I was looking at the tree that was used for climbing. It looked like it had pegs on it. I didn't even see the Bigfoot sitting up there. But it was a young one, I think. No hair on its face. Could find that picture on our Facebook page too. And there's a teepee structure back in there, more towards Bowers Lake. It's a big one. That picture's on our group page too. And video, it's on my YouTube page. Oh, I didn't want to step over those logs. If I didn't have to. I want to go back this way a minute and get a shot of that structure from the road, from the trail.
Which one? Oh,
This way?
I thought you meant the other one.
Look at all those sticks piled up against that tree. Right there. See them right here?
Well, then I see this trail goes off. I don't.
Yeah. This one cuts through the middle.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. See, but there's a tree across the path. Just like all those ones we found at Carver's Rock.
It's a broken.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. Okay.
I mean, there's big logs over this trail.
Yeah. Yeah. You think that's some kind of message? Don't come this way? There's a big hoop right there.
Yep.
Yeah, right by this whole structure here. Look at that. There's another tree. That's interesting. Yeah, there's a big hoop over there. See, I swear, if they don't use this for climbing, I bet my hat on it. Climb right up into that big tree there. Yeah, and sit up there. You wouldn't even know they were there unless they moved. Just like those ones that were standing out here. We would have never seen them if that one hadn't moved and if Sanjay hadn't been studying the structure. Kind of weird. Oh, at night? Oh, God. I wouldn't come out here by myself. I mean, I know they're in here and they're not going to hurt you, but I would never come out at night by myself out here. Humans, cougar, who knows? Okay, here's the depression in the ground, I think, that he was standing in.
Yeah,
Whoa. Huh? It's right down here. There it is. So, Sanjay was standing over there by the trail, just off the parking lot, examining a structure that was there, that is no longer there because they've cleaned this whole place out. And that being was standing in here under a big broken tree that was broken in half here. That may be, well, I don't think that's the log. They must have cleaned that out after they cleaned out this whole area. But see how deep this goes? So this is probably a couple feet below what you think it is, right? If we were standing right there by that. No, we were standing over there. Over this way. Yeah, by that sign, but just over that way, just a little. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and this tree wasn't in the way at the time, but it was standing here under a big broken tree, and then there was a big one hiding behind a big tree. Maybe it was that one, I don't really know. There were more trees in here at the time. They've cleaned this place out so much. And you think, well, and then they sprayed, and you almost wonder why they did all that. And so that structure is just down from this. Yeah, see, here's like, after they sprayed and took out all the trees, this structure right here appeared. And I thought, yep, they're still here. See this big one? All these, right at the entrance? It's just kind of interesting. I don't think that just 3 trees, 4.
Because there's one that's like wedged right in it.
Yeah, in between. So it's right at the entrance and it's pointing this way. Does that mean something? I don't know. But I think it means we're here. For anyone who's paying attention. See how far down in there that goes?
Yeah, that does take it down.
Yeah. That's the spot the Bigfoot was standing in. But you could not see from the trail in there because there were big trees and shrubs and prickers and I mean, it was thick.
When you were standing down in there, you're about what, 5'4"?
Yeah.
5'3"?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were down low, and
Yeah.
I was just standing up above, and you were like